What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Mark Davis and Eric Olivas, aka Spike17. Mark, glad to have you once again. How you doing, man?
Great, bro. Really good. Snow's dumping down on us right now.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it, but
I'm glad you
here,
did.
ready to go, and as always, grateful for you to have us here, and we're excited to follow up with you on the current events here going on, man. You were at Anaheim in California earlier this month, and then you were also at Temecula, California this month. You're all over the place.
Yeah, it's been back-to-back weekends in Orange County, which is great. The coaches convention was great. Albion Cup was great. Played great competition. Boys played some good football. And the coaches convention was excellent. Anyone ever has the opportunity to go to the coaches convention, I think next year's in Chicago. A lot of times it's in the Midwest, East Coast. But the Chicago one, I've gone the last 11 of 12 years. I've gone to the convention. And it's great to connect with people, great to hit the classes. It's funny, in probably the first 4 to 5 years of the coaches convention, I loved the classes. I loved the field sessions. I loved going and watching the field session, taking notes. I would camp out and just watch the field sessions all day long. And now it's almost 100% a 180. I almost go to all the classroom sessions on building culture or listening to people talk about development of soccer in our country.
Yeah.
And so this one, I really spent a lot of time just kind of, getting better on building culture and where are we going as a country in football, and how can I be a part of the solution opposed to just being a part of the problem.
Right. You made a post. Sorry, I'm going to turn off my notifications here so that we don't get any disruptions here during this. But
you're good.
You posted a video of Landon Donovan kind of talking about, in the convention, talking about how, at least on the women's side, to start off, they're not it's not that other, talking about, recent results with the U.S. women's national team, it's not that other countries are catching up, it's just that we're kind of dropping. And then
it was actually Carly Lloyd.
Was it Carly Lloyd?
Carly Lloyd. So the video was Landon Donovan restating what Carly Lloyd said, but Carly Lloyd said the United States used to be here and the rest of the world was here. Now the rest of the world has gone like this, but the US has gone like this. And that's where the rest of the world is. And that was her comment. And then Landon just basically said that again. Reiterated the fact that what Carly Lloyd said. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Watching the last World Cup, how can you say otherwise? The U.S. women's national team felt like a team that was, every player on the team had a chip on their shoulder. We're going to represent our country. We're going to play every minute of every game, just a certain brand of football, gritty and forward thinking, and just found a way to win. And the women's national team that I watched was not that.
So what's going on? What is it? Why that drastic change in such a short period of time?
You could talk. They made a coaching change for a reason, right? And so you gotta love the coaching change that they have. I think she's going to do an unbelievable job. She did an unbelievable job at Chelsea. Won everything you can win under the sun in Europe, in England, and I just think the DNA of I love the 1999 women's national team. The World Cup was here in America. They played at the Rose Bowl. It seemed like I got chills thinking about it right now. Mia Hamm, Brandi Chastain, Michelle Akers, Christine Lilly, like that group of women, man, a bunch of badasses. And I think everyone was blue collar, gritty. They played a certain brand of football. They knew who they were, and they just did it. And I think maybe they've fallen away. The DNA of what that national team is, and like I said, they made it. The federation made a coaching change for a reason, and they saw, okay, our DNA's fallen off. We've been the best in the world for X amount of years, and we need to maybe change that. And I think they got. I mean, they hired the most expensive coach on the women's side in the history, and I think she's going to do a really good job. And she's blue collar, she's gritty. I think she's going to bring that back to the U.S. So I think that solves probably that problem. I'm really excited to see them in competition and see what they're all about and see what things change. Because, I mean, you look at Title IX and how wonderful Title IX is for women's soccer in this country. It gives, I mean, talk about an amateur system and a build-up that players can go from 18 to 21, 18 to 22 and develop for 40 weeks of the year. 38 weeks of the year they're able to be in the college system. I mean, what an amazing amateur build-up to the NWSL, into the USL Super League, into the USLW League, or whatever path you go to. So I really think the pathway for women's soccer is going to get back on track.
I hope so, because they've been representing us really well, right?
Of course.
So I think we're always optimistic, right, that the U.S. men's national team will also pick up and get to the same level in terms of I don't know, prestige, right?
They will. This Copa America is going to be the biggest show of their life. I mean, this is going to be, in my opinion, as close to what 1994 was, and it's going to be a precursor for 2026. I fully expect us to get out of group. I fully expect us to do some big things. I'm very optimistic. I'm very excited, and dare I say, I'm like, first time in my life, I've supported U.S. men's national team. Like, that's my top team. That is the team I follow at the pinnacle, right?
Right.
And I think this is the biggest tournament apart from the World Cup that we've played in, and like home soil and big expectations, and you have so many players on form right now. Like, you look at our midfield, you look at our top three, you look at our back four, you look at our goalkeeper. Like, why not us?
Right.
Being on home soil, like, we should have an immediate impact, and we should do this.
Are you going? You got tickets?
Man, with USL League 2, with us starting the under-20s, starting League 2, and schedules and everything else, I would say right now, no. But, I mean, I'm looking at venues, I'm looking at schedules. When our USL League 2 schedule comes out, that's my first and foremost priority, is the Academy, League 2, Salt Lake Community College. And if for whatever reason, if there's a weekend that allowed it, I mean, I definitely would want to, at minimum, fly there, be outside the stadium, be a part of it. Like, it's something I crave, to be in our own country, wearing the red, white, and blue, and feeling that passion. I went to the Rose Bowl on a game, USA versus Mexico, to go to the Confederations Cup at the Rose Bowl, and it was unlike anything I've ever experienced. I went to Allegiant Stadium and watched USA Mexico this last year, 3-0, USA won. That's the stuff I crave. I mean, I love that as a USA supporter. So I would love to be there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, World Cup is it for sure? Is it non-negotiable?
It's a 100. At minimum, if I'm not in the stadium, I will be outside the stadium, feeling the passion, feeling the excitement. I will be there.
Yeah.
There's no question in my mind. It is a priority to be at those venues when the U.S. plays, and when Mexico plays, or when Brazil play. Like, I want to be inside those venues, or be outside those venues if I can't afford a ticket. But I want to have my boys experience that, my wife, my daughter to experience it, myself. Like, this is a bucket list. Without a question, I will be outside those venues.
I love it.
Experiencing it.
Yeah. No, hopefully. I mean, let's hope that, again, let's continue to pray and hope that the U.S. men's national team is ready for it. I mean, I'm personally Mexican.
Sure.
So I love Mexico, but I also, I mean, I grew up here, right? So I'm always happy to see any progress that the U.S.
You know what's
has
crazy
done?
is, so I served my mission in Mexico.
Mm.
I love Mexico. I love Mexico. I think the world of the Mexican people. When I was in Mexico, I despised the federation. I despised the football team. I wanted them to lose, like biggest rival. Like when we missed the World Cup, and Donovan came up with a scarf and said, "My second team is Mexico. Go Mexico." I mean, I was pissed off. Like, screw that guy. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was like a Wells Fargo commercial.
Right.
And I'm like, you couldn't pay me enough money to be like that. It's funny now, older, how much I love the people of Mexico. I've been there so many times post my mission 2006 to 2008. And now just have coach so many Mexican boys, understand the Mexican American so much better. Now, I find myself, unless they're playing USA, I find myself keeping a closer eye on it, rooting for them. I mean, would I be gutted if they won a World Cup before US? Yeah, of course. But like the last couple years, I find myself a lot more, rooting for Mexico and feeling I have such a special place in my heart for the federation there, for the people there, for the clubs there, for everything about El Tri.
Right.
Like, I love it.
What's your favorite Mexican food?
Tacos, man. Tacos al pastor.
Al pastor?
I pound, dude. I mean, I don't have this stomach for a reason, brother.
Right. Have you been to Tacos Lopez?
Tacos Lopez, no, but give him a shout out.
Yeah, let's give Tacos Lopez a shout out, man. Have you ever been to Tacos Lopez in West Jordan? Best tacos in the valley, I would say.
Pounded up with some cilantro.
Yeah, cilantro, pico de gallo, all that good stuff.
I could floss. I could floss with cilantro. I love it that much. It's the best.
I love it, dude. There was the draft, the women's draft too.
Yep.
In Anaheim.
Very
cool. Saw that you. I got to meet Brecken finally at BYU this past season on one of her final games, or playoff game actually. But you got to interact with her plenty, right? At RSL.
Yep.
RSL Women's. What's that?
So prior to the Utah Royals being in Utah, so they had an amateur team, Real Salt Lake Women, and so I was the head coach at Real Salt Lake Women for 3 seasons, and I was assistant coach for 1, and then head coach for 2 of those seasons, and just got the opportunity to basically coach Brecken from 14 to 17 years old, and man, I mean, the one thing about Brecken, amazing player, tactically aware, physically aware, mentally aware, super gritty. But what set Brecken apart from other female players, from other players, period, is her ability to do things that no one else wanted to do. I mean, she truly was the first one in, last one out. She truly was hit the Real Salt Lake women's session, which had to be taxing. She was playing with women in their late 20s, playing with women that played at Power 5 conferences, and she just would shy away. And the women were great. They embraced her, and they took care of her, and they never were like, screw that young girl, she's taking my minutes. They were always really inclusive, which really a lot of credit to go to them, because she's taking someone's minutes, right, as a 15, 16-year-old girl. And she's taking women's minutes. But she was always wanting to do the extra thing. So she was the player that would get done with the session and then would go work by herself. She was the player that, I don't know if she spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars working with private trainers. I know she worked with trainers. I know she worked with players. But she was the player. If she didn't have a private trainer, she was going to go work anyways. Right. She's going to get a bag of footballs, a couple cones, and she was just going to work. And that's what set her apart. So, I mean, I loved coaching her. I enjoyed coaching her, and it was it was great because we had a lot of good times in those 3 to 4 years working together, and just a lot of good memories. And she did some really special things.
What do you think of her move to the Royals?
Yeah, I mean, she's from Sandy, right? So she went to Alta High School, and that doesn't get in. I mean, that's pretty much the dream. I mean, she probably could see the stadium virtually from her house, or it's literally a couple miles away from her doorstep. And went to UCLA, left UCLA after a year to go to BYU. So she's been here from it all. Real Salt Lake women, 13, 14 years old, grew up through that system, goes to UCLA, comes back to BYU. I mean, what a great story. And now the real work begins. So she's got to, become a professional now. And I think her habits, the way she works on her set by herself, the way she's going to study film, the way she's going to do everything else, she's there. So she'll take care of it. Man, that's developing those personal habits. I mean, when we talk about developing players, so much coaches can help players move forward on a pathway and help players, but the players are the players are the ones that are really going to develop themselves.
Right.
Training 4 times a week, 90 minutes, that's going to be great for a player. But what are they doing? That's 6 hours a week, Eric.
Right.
And that's in a great environment, is 6 hours a week.
Right.
A lot of programs are 2 times a week at 90 minutes. That's not developing players. It's what are they doing outside? How do they eat? How do they sleep? What are their training habits outside of training? How do they watch film?
Right.
That's going to decide if a player is going to go from here to here. And, that's what she was willing to do at a very, very young age. I also coached that 2001 women's girls team at ODP as well. So I had the opportunity to do that. And we lost to Cal South in the championship. But, cool. A lot of cool opportunities with the 01 girls group.
Are you excited to follow the Royals? Or are you going to be following them pretty closely this season? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're my club, right? The Real Salt Lake is my MLS club, 100%. I support the Monarchs, support Real Salt Lake, support the Royals. I've been in Utah since the mid-'90s, so I'm a Utah boy, 100%. Absolutely. So I support them without a doubt.
Yeah. So wrapping up here, what's next? What's next for Mark Davis? I mean, you just got back from convention. You've got some trainings with United with Slick. What's the move? What's the move this week for Mark?
Yeah, no, so a big week. So we have a soccer and weights class with Salt Lake Community College, so it allows us to see the boys a little bit, during those time periods. So we're able to work with the kids for, during that small time period, because the open date doesn't technically open for a couple more weeks. So we're able to do some technical sessions. We'd love to get outside with them. Doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Right.
So we're able to work with them. USL League 2, we have some big meetings with scheduling, and we have some big meetings with venues as well, where we're talking to, we don't want to say too much, but we're talking to some big venues right now about where we're going to look to play our USL League 2 games.
You got some big signings already coming.
Big signings. Huge signings. And we just got another one this morning that I just messaged you on WhatsApp about.
Right.
So that should be coming out soon. Very excited about that. Can't wait. So the momentum's just kind of keep going, and with the academy, the momentum's killing it. There's a lot of people that don't want the academy to be successful. It's hilarious to me. Focus on yourself, do a better job, work harder, and you'll be successful too. We're not looking or thinking about anyone else besides what we do inside of our academy. Right. Our focus is 100% on our kids. It's 100% on our identity, on our style of play, how we train kids. We're not focused on anyone else that's not inside of this room. Right. So we're really excited and really optimistic, and feel like this is separation season, Eric.
Right.
How do you separate in January, February, March, where a lot of other players, and I'm talking pro, I'm talking college, I'm talking club, talking academy, when the rest of the country could be chilling, what are you doing to separate yourself? Are you getting in those extra 30 minutes inside your basement on your first touch? Are you putting in a little bit more time on the treadmill? Are you putting a little bit more time? And then it's just, you want to be successful. It's literally brick by brick, day by day. You don't wake up one morning and just become successful. I'm successful now because I made the academy roster to go to Disney Cup. It's not the way it works. It's literally brick by brick, by brick, by brick, by brick. So when players, they get anxious about not making a roster or not making something work, stay calm. Just keep adding your bricks, because I've seen players at 11 years old, and you have 2 players at 11 years old. This player's clearly higher than them. But this player adds their brick every single day. Mm-hmm. By 15, they're right there. Maybe they're right there. By 18, this player's here, this player's there. So It's just, what are you doing on the day-to-day grind? And that exists, in my opinion, at high school, college, professional. It exists everywhere. Right. It exists everywhere. And so focusing on just getting 1% better every single day. The demand excellence, I think demand excellence, when you hear demand excellence or you see it on our shirts, you think demand excellence is like, be better. Come on, just be better. You're not good enough. That's not what it is. It's striving to be the best version of yourself every single day. Working harder than you did yesterday, or say yesterday you fell short. Great. Strive to be better every single day. The grass is not always greener. Stop looking over the fence to say, where's the grass green? Water your own freaking grass. Make sure that your grass is clean. Get down on all fours with your scissors and your fertilizer and your lawnmower and make your grass be pristine. One day, I was down. I was down about Salt Lake Community College. I was down about just my career in general. I just felt like I'm putting in 11, 10-hour days, 12-hour days, and I feel like I hadn't moved the needle, Eric. Uh-huh. I just felt like I worked as hard as I could for 365 days, and I was trying to work so that I could get to the next position. Mm-hmm. So I could go be an assistant coach at the Monarchs or go to a big Division I school. And that's why I was trying to win games. That's why I was trying to move my players on to Division I. That's why I was trying to do what I was trying to do. Mm-hmm. And I talked to a friend, and he's like, dude, just water your grass. Water your grass. Don't worry about other people's lawns. Make your grass be pristine. Stop looking over the fence. And it sunk in. It sunk in. I was like, I got an amazing college job. Mm-hmm. I'm training amazing youth players. I have an amazing wife. I have amazing kids. I have an amazing house. What am I doing looking and comparing my life to other people? Right. Let's focus on my own grass. And so for the last 3 years, I haven't focused on other people. I focused on just staying in my lane, working on what does my grass look like? Is there weeds growing in my grass? What do I do to get those weeds out? How do I make my grass be pristine? Right. And then if other people have nice grass, instead of being like, hey, screw that guy, I'm going to try to put weeds in his grass when he's not looking. I clap that person up. I say, hey, great job. I support the grind. I'm psyched on you. I'm pumped on you. Right. And all you're doing and what you're accomplishing, opposed to being the other way around. And I'm happy. Right. I'm happy. I'm not thinking about everything else. I just want, dude, it's right after this YouTube or whatever podcast or whatever we're doing, I want to keep watering my grass, making sure it's green, putting fertilizer on my grass, making sure that I'm in the right mindset my academy, USL League 2, the college, everything's just killing it. My players are happy. My parents are happy. Everyone's going in the same direction, and that's forward.
Right.
And that's up, opposed to being like this. And that's what gets me up in the morning. That's what gets me excited. And stop worrying about other people.
Right. No, I think you've hit it right on the nail right there. That's what true success is, in my opinion, right? Too, is just like enjoying the process, being happy, right? It's not, oh, I'm not gonna be happy until I hit this or until, no, it's enjoy it while you're going through it, right?
Yeah. Oh, I won't be happy until I make X amount of dollars. Well,
Right.
you'll make X amount of dollars, and then what?
Right.
Oh, I won't be happy. Or I won't be happy until I become this type of player or this type of job. Screw that mentality.
Right.
Screw that mentality. Have the mentality of, I'm gonna water my grass. I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna build a fence around it. I'm gonna make it beautiful. I'm gonna add flowers. I'm gonna add trees. I'm gonna build. Maybe I even buy some more land and I start developing that land. That's where I'm at right now. And it gets me so excited because you don't have to rely on other people.
Right.
You don't have to rely on one person saying yes or one person saying no. Just develop your grass, water your grass, let people come into your fence and build with you and have fun with you and be successful with you. And that's where Utah United is. That's where Salt Lake Community College is. And the success. Do we want to win our last game? Sure, but we've won a national championship and we've been to 3 Final Fours since that moment. Do we want 4 national championships? Of course we do. Are we satisfied? No. But are we thinking that we're failures because we didn't win the national championship every year? Heavens no.
Right.
We just keep building and growing and building this thing and having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. I like the way you put it. It's separation season right now, this winter time, right? So
Let's go.
Let's go after it, man. As always, I get excited listening to all this. It's really inspiring, and I'd say I'm on a similar boat where I'm just trying to learn from the best, right?
Yeah.
And try to build my own thing too. So again, look forward to the separation season and see what else we come up with.
This guy came in driving on 4 feet of snow almost coming in here on Bangor Highway. I appreciate you. Spike17 for life, and let's rock and roll. Thank you.
Let's get it.